signing a one-year deal with the Indiana Fever. So, the Fever just keep on doing what they've been doing. They're not playing no.
In the rapidly evolving landscape of women's professional basketball, few events have sparked as much conversation as Sydney Colson's recent decision to leave the reigning powerhouse Las Vegas Aces and join the Indiana Fever. What might seem like a roster change on paper has sent shockwaves through the league, igniting debates over leadership, team chemistry, and the shifting balance of power. In this extensive discussion, originally broached by our Sport Pulse,
champion, the face of the God Dog League, okay? The Aces' main girl, right-hand man, Sydney.
We dive deep into the multifaceted implications of Colson's move and what it signals for the future of the WNBA. The offseason has always been a time of anticipation and speculation, but this year's free agency in the WNBA delivered an unexpected twist. Fans across the league were left in disbelief when Sydney Colson, one of the league's most respected and accomplished veterans, chose to sign a one-year deal with the Indiana Fever. This decision, which came after years of championship success with the Las Vegas Aces, represents much more than a mere change of scenery. It is a statement about the direction Colson wants to take her career and a hint at the broader realignment that is underway in women's basketball. For years, the Aces were seen as an untouchable dynasty, their championship banners and dominant performances lending them an aura of invincibility. However, recent moves have revealed cracks in that foundation. Colson's departure is not an isolated incident.
Colson is no longer returning to the Aces and is signing with the Indiana Fever. First of all, do the Fever even have any more roster spots open? How many folks are you guys going to sign?
It is the latest sign that even the most decorated franchises must constantly reinvent themselves or risk being left behind. Meanwhile, the Fever have been quietly assembling a roster that promises both talent and tenacity, aiming to translate strategic moves into real championship contention. During an in-depth conversation on our Sport Pulse, Colson shed light on her reasons for making this dramatic change. Her decision to leave the Aces was not born out of discontent with the organization per se. Instead, it reflected a combination of factors that aligned perfectly with her aspirations. According to Colson, a revamped coaching staff at Indiana with fresh faces and innovative strategies played a crucial role. The new leadership, spearheaded by head coach Amber Cott, resonated with her vision of continuous improvement. Additionally, Colson cited the draw of new teammates as a significant motivator. In Indiana, she would have the opportunity to work alongside a mix of rising stars and respected veterans. Names like Kelsey Mitchell, whom she played with during her formative seasons, and players such as Joanna Barner and Natasha Howard, whose games she has admired from afar, were mentioned as influential factors. Even the prospect of sharing the court with rookie sensation Caitlin Clark, whose early performance had already signaled enormous potential, was too enticing to pass up.
WNBA free agency will not let us rest, number one. We literally cannot rest. But also,
This multifaceted rationale underscores the idea that professional athletes must constantly evaluate where they can best contribute to a team's long-term success. For Colson, the promise of new challenges, combined with the prospect of being a leader in a developing squad, made Indiana the ideal destination. It was not merely a move for immediate benefits, but a calculated decision aimed at adding a unique blend of experience and energy to a team on the rise. One cannot overstate the importance of team chemistry in any championship run. Colson's career has been defined not solely by her on-court statistics, but by her ability to elevate those around her. Despite modest numbers averaging around 5 points, 1 assist, and playing 8 minutes per game in her previous season, Colson's impact went far beyond the box score. Her defensive prowess, court vision, and clutch performance in critical moments have cemented her reputation as the glue that holds a team together. Aces fans and basketball pundits alike have marveled at how Colson's leadership and unwavering commitment
love this move again. Like, Sydney Colson is a great player, but she's also a player that is going to add even more to what we're going to talk about later, and that's that chemistry.
Helped steer the team through both high-pressure playoff runs and long, grueling regular seasons. In many ways, her departure is emblematic of a broader trend in sports, that winning is as much about heart, experience, and leadership as it is about individual statistics. For a young and hungry Indiana Fever squad, Coulson's presence represents the perfect antidote to inexperience, a stabilizing force capable of instilling confidence and discipline. In the locker room, her influence was palpable. Former teammates described her as the player who maintained high morale even during tough losses, ensuring that the group remained unified and focused. This intangible quality, often referred to as locker room chemistry, is what many believe could be the X factor in turning a good team into a championship contender.
About her decision to leave the Las Vegas Aces and join the Indiana Fever, the current state of women basketball, what she's been up to in the content game, and much more.
One of the fascinating aspects of this offseason's moves is how they underscore the evolving role of a professional athlete. No longer is it enough to be a star on the court. Modern players are expected to be multifaceted, engaging with fans and acting as ambassadors for the sport. Coulson, known for her wit and off-court charisma, fits this mold perfectly. As she joins the Fever, she is expected not only to contribute to the team's defensive and leadership needs, but also to enhance the organization's overall brand appeal. Her presence is anticipated to spark a flurry of creative content, ranging from humorous skits to insightful interviews that will captivate audiences and further elevate the Fever's profile in the WNBA landscape. Every major move in professional sports has an impact on its fan base, and this latest shakeup is no exception. The reaction among Aces supporters has been one of disbelief and sorrow. For many, Coulson's departure feels like the loss of a close friend, a player who was synonymous with the team's identity. Social media platforms have been awash with heartfelt tributes, impassioned pleas for the Aces to recapture their former glory, and even some calls for investigations into the Fever's aggressive recruitment strategies. Fans are not just expressing disappointment. They are questioning the very fabric of the Aces' once legendary dynasty. On the flip side, Fever fans have erupted in celebration. The mood is one of exuberance and optimism, a sentiment that reflects a deep belief in the team's upward trajectory.
Change in leaving the Aces for the Fever. What made you want to join Indiana? Here we go. Sydney Coulson stated it was a variety of things. There was a new coaching staff,
The acquisition of Coulson has been heralded as the catalyst that could finally propel the Fever into genuine title contention. Comments across social media platforms express excitement about the potential for more entertaining on-court performances and the promise of a new era of success. It is a classic case of a power shift. As one fan base mourns the departure of a beloved leader, another revels in the dawn of what they hope will be a golden era for their team. This polarized response also highlights the evolving role of fans in the modern sports ecosystem. In today's digital age, social media is not just a place for discussion, it is a critical part of how teams and leagues shape their narratives. The reactions to Coulson's move illustrate the power of online communities in both influencing public perception and driving the overall conversation about a sport. As the Indiana Fever build their roster and refine their playing style, the buzz generated online will undoubtedly play a role in how they are perceived by the league and by potential future recruits. From a purely tactical standpoint, the inclusion of Sydney Coulson in the Fever's lineup is expected to have a ripple effect that goes far beyond defensive stats. While her scoring averages might not make headlines, her court awareness and ability to make smart, timely plays are what make her indispensable. Coaches and analysts are already discussing how Coulson's skill set can create space for other offensive weapons, particularly in situations where the ball is locked down by opposing defenses. Imagine a scenario in the closing minutes of a tightly contested game. The clock is ticking down, the opposing team is mounting a comeback, and every possession matters.
My teammate from the Aces, obviously good friends with Caitlin Clark. They played together at Iowa, and she speaks really highly of her. And obviously, we saw the rookie year that...
It is in these moments that Coulson's experience and composure become critical. Her knack for reading the play and executing under pressure can be the difference between a game-winning steal or a missed opportunity. By taking on a more defensive-minded role, she not only mitigates the impact of the opposing guard, but also frees up her teammates to focus on scoring. Moreover, her ability to communicate on the court, organizing the defense, calling out screens, and providing guidance during fast break can lead to a more synchronized and effective team performance. For the Fever, whose offensive core is brimming with talent in the form of Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell, having a veteran like Coulson to anchor the defense provides a balanced approach that could prove pivotal in high-stakes playoff situations. This is not just a case of adding another piece to the puzzle. It is about reinforcing the entire structure of the team so that every component works seamlessly together. To truly appreciate the magnitude of this move, one must look back at Sydney Colson's career. With 2 WNBA championships already to her name, Colson's resume is decorated with achievements that testify to her work ethic and basketball IQ. Throughout her tenure with the Las Vegas Aces, she was often the unsung hero, the player whose contributions were subtle but critical. Her legacy is defined by moments of defensive brilliance, timely assists, and an unwavering commitment to her team's success.